Un saluto a tutti e bentornati su Zenith Factor. Rieccoci oggi con un'altra conferenza, ragazzi. Siamo in attesa della conferenza di Microsoft con ehm, alcune novità riguardanti i nuovi giochi in uscita, i nuovi gameplay e altre curiosità sui giochi in sviluppo e magari qualche video gameplay di giochi o già annunciati che si sono mostrati poco, tipo Evolved, Everwild, eccetera, oppure cose inedite che non sono state ancora svelate. Buonasera Zef, come va? Carico? Oggi è la serata forza, eh? Dopo questa live, comunque, ragazzi, l'evento Xbox continuerà una mezz'oretta con un evento di Forza Horizon 5. Quindi ci saranno novità riguardanti quel gioco, ma già dovrebbero essercene qui in questa conferenza di un'ora e mezza, quindi siamo sulla falsariga di quella delle tre, quindi sappiatelo che durerà un po'. Nel caso, anche Forza è stato mostrato poco, c'hai ragione, però vedi, rispetto a Forza, rispetto agli altri, Forza è stato mostrato nel corso del tempo, quindi ha avuto un pochino più di visibilità, mentre invece per Halo, per esempio, si è mostrato poco, dal mio punto di vista, hanno mostrato poca roba rispetto all'attesa che c'è, quindi boh, vediamo come andrà. Adesso non posso mettere tutto schermo per ora. Devi aspettare un attimo che parte la stream. E... Comunque buonasera Rob. Tutto ok? E come vi dicevo, ci sono titoli che sono... Anche Forza ovviamente è stato mostrato poco, ma ci sono altri che sono stati proprio mostrati 1 minuto, 30 secondi di video e ciao. Ci vediamo l'anno prossimo. Quindi sarei molto curioso di vedere qualcosa di Evolved o di Everwild, eccetera. Spero che mostrino qualcosa di interessante. Uno ha scritto Warzone 2, no grazie. Battlefield, Batman 4, Xbox 2, Destiny 4. E adesso appena... facciamo così. Volevo mettere in live, però... Cioè, mettere full schermo, ma non va. Ancora, siamo in attesa. Tutto bene, Rob. Oggi siamo riusciti a finire Hades, oggi pomeriggio, eh. Sono riuscito a uscire dagli inferi al terzo tentativo. Sono soddisfatto. Anche se è una vittoria amara. Poi se vedrai il video lo capirai. Comunque, rip. Allora, inizia no, sono le 7. Sono le 7, adesso la campana, quindi. Eccoci qua. Full schermo. Vediamo cosa succederà. Io voglio vedere Stalker 2 e Project Wingman, chiaramente. Tranquillo, tranquillo, secondo me li faranno vedere. Ho visto ma non potevo commentare, YouTube stronzo. Ah? Non sapevo che ci fosse anche te oggi, Rob. Vabbè, allora se hai visto sai il perché della vita e della vittoria amara. Buonasera Luca, tutto ok? Dura 3 ore, no, dura un'ora e mezza la live, la stream di Xbox, anche perché io 8 e mezza poi devo staccare. Dopo c'è un'altra mezz'oretta di Forza Horizon 5 e poi, boh, vediamo che cosa faranno, vedremo qualcosa. Ma come mai non ti faceva commentare, Rob? Eri da qualche dispositivo particolare, ti si era buggato. Che oggi Benito era preoccupato perché la prima parte di live c'ero solo io e lui. Mi fa, dove sono Zeff e Rob? E faccio, pomeriggio, poverini, non sapevo neanche l'orario che c'ero io. 2 è eterno, no, erano in 2 minuti. Infatti quando ho visto che non andava giù, ero immaginato che era minuti, e adesso sono secondi. Comunque Zeno, vedo l'ora che arrivi l'anime Sono Bisque Doll Wakoevo Suru. Quello che lei non può parlare? Can't communicate in inglese. Il titolo? Qualcosa can't communicate. Se quello sembra interessante. Cos'è? Flight Simulator o... Sì, sa Flight vedendo... Non c'erano anche i sottotitoli.
An animated sequence depicts a large dark orb rising and glowing with a bright green X. Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
Hello everyone and welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's so much going into this. And
vi lascio i sottotitoli in italiano, in inglese ragazzi, non ci sono in italiano.
And we'll be getting our first look
Rip.
at the cover car for the game, Karis. $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming
Allora,
games all week on Twitch.tv.
Destiny 2, Psychonauts, Halo, Master Chief Collection. Non mi è sembrato vedere niente di che. Beh, Dying Light 2 è interessante, eh?
A black screen reads,
Iniziamo bene.
Techland presents Dying Light 2, Stay Human.
Hello, I am Timon Smetkawa, Dying Light.
Ah, e l'audio mettila normale.
This is David Lubrica,
Cioè?
animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th. Smetkawa, Dying Light 2 lead game designer. And this
Questa.
is David Lubrica, animation director. Hi. We can't
Un
wait
momento,
until
sto
December
facendo
7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human,
Eccola qua.
the game we have
Grazie.
been working on really hard for the last few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about
Ero
to
dal
watch
browser,
will
non
give you a
dall'app,
foretaste of
funzionava il
hardcore
resto,
combat
sì, ma
systems
solo alla
waiting
fine ero
for
in
you in the game.
spiaggia.
And we are just
Capito,
about
capito.
to enter the city.
E allora che te lo fa
Fighting
fare
our
in spiaggia di
way
guardare
through
le
brutal
live?
and dangerous streets. Though, as you will see in a moment, there are plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two.
È per i ciechi questa,
Let's go.
capito? No, quella è la ragazza che piace il cosplay. Ha detto il suo compagno di scuola sarto che gli fa i vestiti. Sembra interessante. Curioso di vederlo allora, anch'io Luca. Non lo conoscevo. Grande Z. Boring. Rob non è d'accordo. Va, vediamo qua. Per ora graficamente
broke into many
Nì.
different ones. Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other.
Cioè non mi sembra troppo next gen per ora di grafica, però
Was it a little bird? Met a broken leg?
Hope died. Now the city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
But I can't let that happen.
Eh? Che ha fatto?
Not yet. I need the secrets the city holds.
Un po' inverosimile una cosa del genere, che salta, fa ste cose.
I have to pick a side.
Molto inverosimile.
You're doing great so far.
I have to make
Sembra
a
molto
difference.
scriptato il parkour comunque.
Let's check and see.
They say that great change
vabbè.
is a series of small gestures. How about this series?
Ok, Ok, sì, è un po' trashume, i combattimenti. Ma non è di zombie Dying Light.
Is all hope really gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timo?
Nah.
Did you notice those bandits in medieval-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a
C'è di
modern
meglio.
Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design. One
Forse questi
very
era meglio che
important for the plot of Dying
facevano
Light 2. But
il
there's
Dying
another
Light
thing
in
that stood
stile
out to me.
medievale
All
che
those
avevano in
parkour
mente di
moves
fare,
that
ambientato
you
nel
and your team
Medioevo,
has put so much
che il
effort into.
secondo di Dying
Well,
Light.
all
Però-
you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some of them in this trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally. It brings a whole new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example by rebounding from their bodies, jumping off them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to
Beh,
perform.
comunque tutti i giochi
I
poi
can't
vanno
wait for them to
visti
try it out and
quando
tell for
caricheranno i
themselves how much they love
video
It's definitely
non
going to be
in
useful.
stream,
The
perché
city's
ovviamente la
buildings are
qualità è un po'
higher than
inferiore,
anything
però
we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world.
però mi avete
on
convinto
December 7th.
a aspettare
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
che si abbassi di prezzo, sinceramente. Gli zombie solo di notte, no? Gli zombie c'erano anche di giorno, ma erano quelli lenti e stupidi, mentre invece di notte c'erano quelli più tosti.
Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely
Rankings
honored
GOAT,
to welcome the head of
tra i
Microsoft
migliori.
Flight
Ok, ci
Simulator,
sta.
York Newman, to the stream.
CDM,
York,
gioco
thank
di
you for being
merda.
here. The last time we
Ok,
met was at the Xbox Game
diciamo
Showcase,
ok, questo è
and it's getting
ok.
ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said,
Sì,
the
sono
reaction to the
russi,
Xbox
credo,
console launch
Zef,
was,
o polacchi, come
really just
dice Rob,
amazing.
quella gente lì.
Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so
Est
gracious with their
Europa.
feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox
Si
this year,
sentiva
which I think
dall'inglese
is just great
maccaronico.
validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has
Sì,
really
sono
worked
polacchi,
well.
forse, c'ha ragione
Our
Rob.
usage numbers are through the roof. We are absolutely
Ora che
shattering
mi-
franchise records, and I can tell you, there have never
Mi
been
viene
more
in
people playing
mente.
Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is awesome. Congratulations on the launch.
Io non l'ho neanche scaricato per Xbox. Più che altro non c'ho più spazio.
All right.
Ah,
I'm
beh,
gonna go to
messo
the
il
danger
chiaro.
zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier. The fans are super excited. They saw the FA-18.
Visto Rob, ti mettono anche ieri qualche aereo militare.
It's free DLC alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this World Update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane flying into Cologne. But we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with the mountains, so the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria. And those cities look just amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region, so we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous
Era il castello di Avengers.
And we sort of spread them throughout the simulation. And we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland.
Si sente come parlo l'inglese, cringe. Non mi importa, so che ci saranno dei DLC per il Combat 7 per il film di Top Gun. Sì, ho letto anche di quello. Però
And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to
peccato perché Flight Simulator è bello come gioco, bello graficamente, probabilmente anche veritiero, perché molti so che lo usano come simulatore di volo, togliendo gli aiuti ovviamente, però non ha un senso, cioè voli per il senso di volare, quindi per me non attrattiva più di tanto come gioco.
The first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat.
Però chi è appassionato di aerei so che lo aspettava molto Flight Simulator.
Why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them local legends, and think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world not so much. But why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane.
Un aereo tedesco degli anni 30.
It's called Junkers U-52.
Junkers.
In Germany, it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is as good as you can do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we work with Bernd Junkers, who is the
dire che comunque ci
grandson
mettono passione, a parte che lavoro, ragazzi, un po' come quelli di Forza.
He has a ton of insight and materials. Then we work with an organization that is preserving one of the last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan and take photographs, and then we were lucky that to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world, and he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right, does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world, and it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies, and they sort of see the tooth of time in the real world sort of nagging on their remaining planes, and they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment, and we're basically capturing their planes, and they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called
Questo ok per me, l'abbiamo già visto già tempo fa su PC. Ok, forza con gli aerei. Non proprio forza con gli aerei, perché almeno in forza fai le gare, qua tutto fine a se stesso. Ah, fai anche i droni adesso? Però questo secondo me invece è un Game of the Year, Boat, come hai detto te. Più che altro perché noi magari non siamo appassionati, ma secondo me come gioco di aerei è uno dei migliori questo, assolutamente. Basta vedere la cura con cui hanno fatto gli aerei, la riproduzione del mondo, c'è il clima dinamico reale, il traffico reale, cioè è un qualcosa, secondo me è un gioco che per me non è attrattiva, quindi per me sarebbe un ok come voi, ma in sé quel Flight Simulator secondo me è uno dei giochi più next gen usciti finora, soprattutto per la qualità che c'è su Xbox Serie X. Io ho visto quella versione lì e nei vari video, e devo dire che è bello. Cavolo, sembra, non dico fotorealistico, ma quasi. Per appassionati aziende aerospaziali e compagnie di volo, esatto, aerei poco famosi. Tra 3 mesi SR-71, state certi. È un aereo di trasporto ed usato per i paracadutisti tedeschi durante la seconda guerra mondiale.
Man, these planes, they fly
Sei
500
tutto, Rob.
miles faster than
Sei
500
andato a
miles an hour,
cercartelo,
50
vero?
to 250 feet above the ground. So you are
Impossibile che lo
definitely gonna be
sapevi,
in the danger
dai.
zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this
Ma infatti è
Reno Air
soggettivo,
Race is
esatto,
actually the
Zef.
largest expansion we have since we
Dico, per me,
launched
anche
in
per me è un
It's
ok,
not
cioè,
just because we scan
magari se
all
mi
the
salta il
famous
pallino lo
race planes of the
scarico,
world,
ci
there's
gioco
lots
un
of
po',
them.
ma
This is also the first
di
time
certo
that
non è
you
un
can
gioco
basically
che mi
race against
tengo lì
your
e che
friends
ci
and
gioco
pilots
ogni
across the
2-3
planet.
giorni.
And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that will
Multiplayer?
definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Ah, in
Oh,
autunno
that
esce
is
multiplayer.
fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Spero che ci siano
If going fast on the ground is more
gli
your
studi
speed,
piccoli
keep an eye
indie
out for
che
extended
fanno poi la
look
domanda
at Forza
classica:
Horizon 5
com'è
later
lavorare
on
con
in the
Microsoft
spring.
che ti
We'll
paga
also
tutto?
talk with Wasteland
È
3's game director
bellissimo.
about the game's next big DLC.
Come
But
cos'era
first,
il
if you're an Xbox Game Pass
THQ?
subscriber, we have some great news
Focus
for you.
Entertainment? Cosa chi era che faceva sempre sta domanda a tutti gli studi di Humble Games.
Here I come!
Build a weapon, one that blows the world.
Questi sono i giochi migliori, eh.
Build a rocket that'll come and take away. Gonna come back.
Un gioco per razzetti.
Coming back in a day. Build a weapon that'll
Dodgeball.
turn us into
Questo sembra interessante.
unicorns again. Build a weapon
Ushiden.
that blows the world away.
Minchia, giochi da cabinato.
That'll come and take away.
Ma perché tutti questi giochi pixellati? Non potete farli meglio? Una grafica un pochino migliore, no? Mannaggia. Cazzo, sono riusciti con Ori a farla. Che è sta roba? Ecco, quello lì era già più carino. Quel pezzettino che si vedeva. Vabbè. Posso dire la mia? Me ne piaceva uno. Ce n'era uno che aveva una grafica appena carina.
They added even
Meh.
more games to Game Pass. Let's talk about what's coming up.
No,
We're
mio padre era uno
talking Age of
sfegatato per
Empires
queste
4
cose.
games
Ah,
for
ok.
player, and we're gonna see what's
In
next
realtà
for
per ora il
Sea of
multi era
Thieves,
solo free
but
roam su
now
Flight.
we've got a new roguelike
E quindi
retro
mettono, che
shooter
ne
that
so,
in grand retro fashion sends you plundering
sparatorie,
through shifting dungeons to
come
defeat a
Ace
mysterious
Combat.
eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
Into the Pit. Project Wingman sei tu? Dici? Visto, so, è un indie ma sono riusciti a farlo con una grafica decente. Non è bellissimo però mi viene già più voglia di giocarlo. Anche se mi sembra tanto un Doom. Ma cos'è? C'è la mitraglietta di qua e il fucile a pompa di qua. Ma che roba è? Comunque è una cosa dungeon. Humble Games pure questo. Però già è già più papabile. Boh.
Well, I am
Sì,
here
GDM
with
anche per me,
creator
quelli
director
lì
of
di
World's Edge, Adam
prima.
Iasgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk Age 4. Of course,
Age.
we have something a little different and very special today.
Yeah,
Sea
I
of
have.
Thieves
So,
Dot.
you know, so far we've been
Humble
showing
Games è il
everyone kind of
publisher
what
di
Age
Project
looks like from
Wingman.
in the game.
E non
when we're
c'è
playing it. You've gotten to see a
Doom
lot of footage of
Lezzo.
that. We've also shown a little bit of our
GDM.
campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years War.
Non
and
leggo,
showed
non
some of our-
leggo, Zef.
But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing
Dai che
history
Age of
to life
Empire
that we
ragazzi
haven't
ce lo
talked yet.
giochiamo,
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense.
Io spero
I
che esca
want
su
to know more, so
Xbox.
let's go with it.
C'ho
What's
voglia di
your
giocarlo
Okay,
col
we can get
pad.
one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So, what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign.
Voglio
They're
su
about
Xbox,
3 to 5 minutes each, and we have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-on Histories. And what they are is a great way to like deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this,
Il
I gotta see.
trabucco?
Let's take a look.
Ma perché il trabucco?
A counterweight trebuchet was the king of all siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing down castle walls from great distances.
Il trebuchet. Penso si lega a trebush.
At Warwick Castle in England,
Trebush.
they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world. Originating in 7th century China, by the 13th
China.
century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has several key
Ma anche perché
features.
li devono trasportarseli
A
questi, quindi
pivoted arm
non potevamo
with a
farli
weight at
troppo
one
belli.
end, and a sling to hold the projectile at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised. using
Peso di
tread
6
wheels.
tonnellate.
So this is one of the wheels, one of 2 that's attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle
Il
power
peso di
alone.
6 tonnellate. Ok.
What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at
Sì, è
its
gestionale
highest
Zef. Lo so che non c'era,
This
ma ho
was
visto
done by
Humble Games, ho
positioning
pensato
the
fanno
pivot
vedere
close to
Project
the
Wingman.
counterweight.
Beh, era
By
papabile
launching
come
the
cosa
projectile from the
allora.
sling. When released,
Trabucco.
the sling
Si legge
whips round,
trebuchet,
vastly
credo.
increasing the launch speed.
Per me si chiama Mortaio Nemesis.
Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
Vedi, però non
In order
ti
to
do dai da
weaken the
mangiare a
castle walls or even
questo.
breach them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used a gauge.
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. Oh, this one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
La faccia.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Qualsiasi cosa che disturbasse il nemico. Facciamo le galline. Così facevano un rumore
It was the
mentre,
counterweight trebuchets'
mentre
lethal
dormivano.
combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval
Cavolo
siege
galline.
weapon.
For PC, ma vaffanculo.
You know I'm going to say trebuchet. Yay! Don't care because that is awesome and remarkably unique, something you don't see in games
Trebush,
very often.
ha detto lei comunque.
Yeah, so,
Trebuchet.
you know, one of the
Quindi
things when we were
trebush.
looking at what we're going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which
Che
is
palle,
history
perché
is
non lo
only as
mettono su
interesting as the
Xbox?
people who taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic,
E gestionare
passionate about
RIP
history, it
CPU
really
e
comes
alte
across. We wanted to
temperature.
be that kind
Ora
of
tiro
teacher
giù un
for history.
treno.
And
Un po'
there's a
noioso
phrase
per ora, dov'è la
called
roba
humanized history
buona?
that I use to
C'hai
kind of describe what
ragione.
we try to
Per
do, which is we
ora
try to like
niente di
connect
che.
past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well.
Immaginavo che non
Real stuff,
presentassero
like
niente
scenes kind of
di
overlaid to show you the history. And so for these,
esagerato,
we
almeno
really wanted to do that
all'inizio.
same thing. So ourselves and
Io
Relic
aspetto
partnered
Halo,
with this amazing group
Forza
in the UK
e poi
called
spero
Lion
facciano
TV,
vedere
and they've
qualcosa in
done
più di
production
titoli
on
come
an amazing amount
Vault,
of shows and
Everwild,
documentaries from the
quel genere
BBC
lì.
and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and, get all
Fate le
these
vacanze in giro per il mondo, no? Che
I
bello.
love it. Now, you
contenti,
also,
eh?
of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery.
Okay.
And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And but we've also got all of these ones on, like illuminated history and falconing and, like horse taming, armor creation. And there's even one on Mongolian instrumentation, which is really cool because those instruments, we actually use them in the soundtrack for the Mongols when you're playing as them in the campaign, in the game.
I mean, I just love the behemoth amount of history that you guys... Age of Empires, always known for bringing history alive in a completely different way. And I also love to mention this to people that you and the team do so much research. And it's so great to see this approach
Fateci
being
vedere la
used
cover
in a
di
hands-on
Forza.
history
Sì.
I mean, what was that approach
Almeno quello
like to
sarebbe
sort of,
interessante.
sell going forward, especially since it's such a unique in-game experience?
Well, the cool thing was,
Comunque mi turba la capigliatura della donna.
To do
Non
is
mi
try to
piace.
tell these stories in a different way. But I'll tell you, like full disclosure, it's been insanely nerve-wracking because we're trying something completely different that no one's ever done before in a game, right? We're history, but we're a game, but we're teaching you things, but you're having fun and finding that middle
mezz'ora
ground
che è
is
iniziata
really
ha fatto vedere
challenging.
niente.
And every time we've shown the campaigns or we've shown these hands-on histories, I've been like, oh God, it's gonna work? Like, people gonna like this? And the great thing is so far, everyone that's really experienced the entire thing put together have just been like, wow, this is great, and it's so different and kind of cool and refreshing. So, so far so good, right? But yeah, it's been a journey, to get all this done and put the whole game together.
Well, I love that you mentioned Journey because we are coming towards the end
Oh
of this development journey for Age 4. Talk to me about where people can find and learn more about Age of Empires 4. I know they're all chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, October 28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title. And if you're really, really excited, right now, you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing.
Solo su PC.
Yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
Oh, a bit of a tease from Mr. Ice Green.
Maybe.
And I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither should you. Now we have tons coming up
Devo
here
vedere se il
today,
28
including
ottobre
a new
questo qua se lo
update for
gioca.
State of Decay 2 and an extended look at Forza Horizon 5
Oh,
with our
State of
friends at
Decay
Playground
2,
Games. But now,
Forza Horizon.
let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from flying skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right, Kate. Xbox Cloud Gaming is already available on Windows
A me turba che ha le braccia più grosse delle mie.
And now it's coming to Xbox Console.
Beh, ma era una Amazzone quella lì. Si vedeva.
No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no buying a new console just to play with your friends. See how the vision of cloud gaming will bring people together without barriers.
Ma che palle.
So when I think
Posso
about
dirlo?
cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where you can pick up something and you can play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
game is phenomenal.
This is pretty great. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
This actually looks so good.
Games are large and you want to keep the ones that you know you love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away. It's super exciting that for our Game Pass Ultimate members, they will get to experience Xbox Cloud Gaming on whatever console they have.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at how people play differently. I know me in particular, sometimes I just have 20 minutes.
It should be as easy as finding the game that you look for on your console and just jumping right in.
We're targeting 1080p at 60 frames per second.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need with cloud gaming.
Oh, 60 frames? That's actually very smooth.
The
Te mettono il cloud
process itself to
gaming
get
su
into cloud
console.
gaming feels like you're playing on
Saluti.
console, right? You go, you find the game you
Va
want, you
bene,
press play.
ho capito.
It's so easy nowadays. You can pick up any device and pretty much play any Xbox game on Game Pass.
If my friends have titles that I don't have yet, I can just wait for them to send me an invite. It makes content just so much more accessible.
I really love the flexibility. It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits of having to be on a specific platform or a specific console. Play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Yeah, Gen 8 consoles can play Gen 9 content. Isn't that so cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability because you are connecting
quindi
to
con
consoles that are
Xbox
in our data
One
centers
puoi giocare
to
ai
allow
titoli della,
the Gen 8
della
customers, the Xbox One customers,
serie X.
to play games that their hardware wouldn't have been able to
Proprio.
play.
Hai trovato come giocare a Halo volendo se
How we can make
diventa
content more readily
esclusiva.
available and let people play where
Non
they want
penso
to.
diventi esclusiva
Sign me
serie
up.
X.
I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
A Natale.
August 9th saw the release of the free
Che bello, forse in
optimized
cloud
update for
gaming al
Hellblade:
primo
Senua's
live si va a
Sacrifice
muro, che
on
cosa
the
bella.
Xbox Series S and
Per
X,
definire
with beautiful and
Google,
rich
si va
visuals, thanks
2021,
to the
mostriamo
addition
solo
of ray tracing and
2019.
improved materials alongside
Posso
performance
giocare
updates.
Stalker 2
This
senza
is the
serie
perfect
X, ok,
opportunity
va
to
bene.
relive
Visto
Senua's
Rob
journey
è contento.
or experience it for the first time. And if you haven't played this, do yourself a favor, grab a pair
Devi
of
vedere però
headphones
se
and
diventa
immerse
cloud
yourself into
gaming,
this
Perché non tutti i
Speaking
giochi
of
sono in
unique
cloud,
experiences on Game
occhio.
Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2.
Che palle.
So join the live Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5,
Oh,
don't forget our friends at
damn it.
Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Ma prima c'è da vedere altro.
Let's talk Wasteland 3.
Soffri,
Their newest
Zef,
DLC
soffri.
introduces us to a new cult. The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
The holy detonation is life. Deep within Cheyenne Mountain, we've changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you. Set on a righteous path. The holy detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone. May the light of the holy detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
Ma Halo c'è anche su One, ma non ne vale la pena. Ma questa è la
new
prossima
patches,
live su
bug
Forza
fixes,
solo.
and added features like a fine wine, Wasteland 3 just
La
gets
prossima
better
live
with
su
age.
Forza
To really
soltanto.
savor the game's
Dici
bouquet,
Zef.
we're talking
Costa
with
troppo,
exiled
comunque non ne
game
vale la
director
pena per quanto
David
mi
Rogers.
riguarda.
David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
Che cazzo
So
dicono?
in the trailer,
Cazzo hanno
we saw
bevuto?
that the DLC is coming out on October 5th.
Chiamato Follato vuole
But,
indietro le sue idee.
Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So
Sì,
can you
evidente
kind of talk
molto
about that journey?
simile.
Yeah, our dev team has been working non-stop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game, and if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
Well, congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland
Thanks.
3. Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain,
Cioè dicono
right?
tanto degli
For those who haven't,
italiani, no,
Cheyenne
che
Mountain
gesticano
is
quando
this,
parlano,
top secret
però
military
anche i
complex deep
americani.
in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god.
Yeah.
And these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous.
Yeah, that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past. But this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right. So you and your ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right?
Yeah.
You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted
Adesso
returning
abbiamo
players to find
robot
something that they could
mutanti
never find
ancora più
in another
grossi.
version or in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so we built this as a Wasteland-style dungeon crawl. And in there, you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who have been locked in this pre-war time capsule.
Hanno messo dei
and
dungeon,
some of
una
the
cosa che non
raddest
mette mai
boss battles we have
nessuno.
ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the
Io odio
crazy
con tutto il
cultists,
cuore
but talk
queste
to me about
interviste
these
con i
big boss battles. I wanna hear more
presentatori.
about that.
Stiamo in
So we
due
took the
robe,
best
non le
parts of
sopporto.
Wasteland
Soprattutto
combat
quando
and breathe new
sono
life
di
into
giochi
it
che non ne
with
frega un cazzo a
objective-based combat,
nessuno.
which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages.
È bello che
It's not
parla,
about
ma sta
killing, it's about
leggendo
getting the
quello che
job
c'è da
done.
dire,
So
perché
now,
c'ha lo sguardo
combat
fisso
doesn't
in
end until the
basso.
mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions. You're in there breaking into
Quello
prisons,
divertente è che sono
rescuing
tra l'altro
POWs.
anche
You're
cose
disrupting these
registrate,
high-tech
non è
cultist
in
rituals.
live.
You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like
Quindi
you
potevano
never
imparare
have
le
had to
battute
before.
almeno.
Everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head and really have to rethink how they go about combat and making it new, exciting, and challenging mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just straight up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. In Exile's modus operandi is if we're brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, really letting you get deep into this weird radiation cult and let you interact with them and talk with them. And tell stories and maybe even join them.
Yeah.
And so for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet is this
Oh, che novità, i
beast. He's got,
dungeon,
claws
Minecraft
and
si vede
fangs,
che non
spikes
essere molto
jutting out.
famoso.
He's drooling, but he's
Esatto,
the
anche
nicest
perché
guy
hanno
in
fatto
China.
vedere prima
You
Minecraft
meet him
in
and he's
versione
like,
dungeon.
hey guys, you should
Si è
come in here,
registrato,
soak up some of these rads. It'll be
Designer,
great.
how
And
much
he
sense you want
Sherpas
this
you in
expansion?
and lets you
This
meet the
guy,
whole
yes.
cult. And another one of my favorites is the Proteus.
Altrimenti i
He's what you
sottotitoli
get
non c'erano,
if you
infatti.
took 20 cultists and you like
Mi ricordo di un anno in cui hanno fatto la traduzione simultanea di una che parlava e traduceva in tempo reale quello che dicevano. Si capiva un cazzo. Niente si capiva. Anche perché poi lei a un certo punto rimaneva indietro perché diceva parlano, raffica, e rimaneva indietro e tipo in un discorso lungo mezz'ora diceva sì, poi adesso vi faccio vedere il video così capite. Rimaneva troppo indietro, era troppo. Non ho mai riso così tanto a una conferenza E3 della Microsoft.
Dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but you know, it's the Wasteland's a
Posso dire che sto gioco è così noioso che anche il solo parlarne mi sta annoiando.
There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player, say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3.
No, mi hai fatto passare la voglia, grazie.
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we've put in over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steel.
Ma sicuro, vai tranquillo che vado a comprare 60 euro di Game Pass, vai tranquillo. Di DLC, vai tranquillo.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. We're really stoked.
That is awesome.
Esce tutto tra ottobre e novembre e dicembre.
Detonation coming October 5th. David, thank you
so
much.
Se ci divertiamo, si divertono anche gli altri. Gamescom 2021. Gioco di merda, gioco di merda. Io sto ascoltando presenti i giochi che non caga nessuno, assumi uno che parla davvero veloce. Tanto non c'è bisogno di capire che dici. Infatti.
Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest Wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Ogni volta che c'è qualcosa fanno l'evento di Sea of Thieves. Nuove navi, cose. Borderlands comunque.
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this cool digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves. And we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period. So it's been really cool to work with the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life.
E il fatto è che fanno vedere sta cosa come se fosse una cosa esagerata, no? Guardate qua, c'è questa nuova nave bellissima. Ma sono sempre le stesse che gli cambiano il design, che ci hanno messo 10 minuti a farlo.
So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time limited event. So it starts today and it runs through to September the 7th.
Sicuramente, adesso vado subito su Sea of Thieves a scaricarmi la nave, sicuro.
So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Ma perché non fanno vedere qualcosa di interessante? Dobbiamo fare un bel trailer. Mettiamoci una nave con dietro delle esplosioni. E sì dai, ce li dà l'8 per 1000 i soldi. Sei contento per lo stipendio. Ci credo, lì a parlare di stronzate. Sei contento anch'io. Burn gearbox to the ground. Che è sta cosa? Ah, State of Decay 2. O il 3. Qual è? Ma io ho perso il conto. Non doveva uscire State of Decay 3, che hanno fatto vedere il trailer col cervo. Io l'ho provato il primo State of Decay, però mi è sembrato una palla. Ma c'è sempre le stesse cose. Gente che corre verso la telecamera con le esplosioni dietro. Cazzo, le hanno fatte per la storia, per la nave di Sea of Thieves, adesso la mettono anche con State of Decay. Allora, un po' di fantasia. Fai che corre di lato almeno. No, sempre la stessa cosa. Hanno cambiato solo i soggetti. L'ha messo il pirata, ma ci ha messo sta qua che scappa. Ah beh, fanno uscire i DLC, che deve uscire il terzo per il secondo però. Va bene. No, non mi prepara un po' di questo. Oh, che due colpi. Ma deve uscire il terzo, non potete parlare di un DLC.
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here. Talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
Madonna mia, che
So let's talk about the
palle.
Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley.
Siamo a
We were
metà,
there
ragazzi,
for
non finisce
Heartland,
più.
the update back in 2019. Talking about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen because they're adorable.
So Heartland is
Se questo è il 3, gioco di merda.
very linear narrative driven
Aspetta, grafica di merda, starter pack, 3D simil Fortnite, sangue del Dio, esplosioni che sembrano acqua colorata.
open world map.
Gioco di
fully
merda.
remastered and it expands into
Ma
two
infatti,
territories
cioè,
that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to
hanno
Trumbull Valley with
fatto,
their
cioè,
communities,
deve uscire il terzo. E anziché mostrare quello lì che hanno presentato finora, un video in computer grafica dove c'è un cervo zombie, presentano un DLC del secondo.
So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens. in
Mettete
Trumbull
di lavorare
Valley.
su
So
cose
we think of
vecchie e
it as
fate
the
qualcosa di
third part of
nuovo,
our
no?
Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and you know, things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hazmat
Comunque il
outfits
secondo,
and
Rob,
new very
tranquillo, non
cool
è il
weapons.
terzo
We've
questo.
got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters.
Anche perché se
And
esce
on
un
top of
gioco
that, we are
nuovo per
adding
serie
these
X, serie
12
S con
bounty
questa
packs.
grafica
So that
sono
will
da
be available,
denuncia, soprattutto perché è
from the bounty
esclusiva.
broker across all maps, and I have to say they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second pun of the day. That works out great. Well, let's talk about the State of Decay community because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and you know, we have an amazing community. We love them
È
so
tutto
much.
fantastico.
In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley
I giochi
Maps
sono
is
sempre
because it was
fantastici, tranne quando poi li chiudono perché non ci gioca
from the
nessuno.
community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able to say,
Vero? Street,
we did
Edge
it,
of
you get it.
Street, come si chiamava il
And we
gioco
have a
del
major
cazzo?
milestone that we're celebrating.
Il simil Overwatch che ha fatto Microsoft,
10 million
che l'ho
lifetime
provato
players.
un'oretta e mi ha fatto veramente
Really grateful.
mi ha già annoiato un'oretta
Congratulations to you and the entire team at
di
Undead
gioco,
Labs.
figurarsi che fine ha fatto adesso. Bleeding
Well,
Edge,
speaking of Xbox
come
Game Pass,
si
let's
chiama,
give me the deets one more time when it
che
comes
adesso
to
non
the
si
update.
incula più
So
nessuno
the update
ovviamente.
releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass. Happy homecoming.
I love it. Thank you, Wonder, very much.
My pleasure.
Now we move from Trumbull Valley to the Lost Valley of Akria. This mystical location trades zombies for ancient warrior clans, forgotten temples of long-dead god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this
Che
awaits.
succederà? Non vogliamo saperlo, giusto? Sta roba, Stray Blade. Ok, è un MOBA. Sì che è un MOBA. Poi c'è anche le corna interscambiabili,
The
vero?
mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dues to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that
No,
weren't
non è un
enough,
MOBA.
you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out.
Ah beh,
Epic fight
giusto.
in this small guy. There's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear
Vediamo,
more.
forse è l'unico gioco decente che presenteranno stasera.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, game director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you
È
Stray Blade.
contentino per chi non si può permettere una serie X.
Stray Blade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named Boji.
Chi gioca a State of Decay? Non lo so, guarda, sinceramente. A me, io l'ho provato e mi ha fatto cagare, quindi parlo il primo. Quindi parlo per esperienza. Tutto il primo settembre. Godfall più pezzotto dell'originale, dici?
Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world, bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving forward. Enemies can't stay dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened, and when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights. We hope you enjoyed the first look at Stray Blade, which will be out
Beh, il
next year.
cervo che
And
si
keep an eye on
incastrano
our
le
social media
corna lì fa
channels for more
morire da
information.
ridere. Posso dire che non mi ha entusiasmato?
Next up, one of the most
Comunque
unique
come
games
gioco
finally comes
finora
to
è quello
Xbox.
migliore che hanno fatto vedere,
Unique.
però
As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3.
Non si era capito, c'era scritto dietro.
Role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah. It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience.
se l'ha fatto un gioco come Crusader Kings e non lo fa Age of Empires 4.
Soon enough, check out Crusader Kings 3 now, coming to Xbox console.
Deficienti. No, bambino che muore.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us.
Perché ricordarlo fa sempre bene. Godfall è la prima demastered della storia. Incredibile, signori. Che senso è la prima demastered, Rob? Comunque fa abbastanza ridere, ma Project Milman ha fatto al day one quasi lo stesso numero di vendite di Cyberpunk 2077 su
The
Steam.
greatest wars are won with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords. Only the small mind.
Sì, perché una grafica del genere solo su una console next gen può arrivare.
Single life.
Giustamente.
The real game is played across generations. You see, real strategy requires cunning.
Wow, lo posso provare dal day one su
Crusader
console,
Kings
su
3
Game
is
Pass.
wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a psychedelic
Il gioco di
60s
crociate di cui non
Wonderland
si
kind of
conquista
weird?
Gerusalemme. Gioco di
Exactly that kind
merda.
of weird, which means I am so
Ah, che hanno
excited for
fatto il
Psychonauts to
porting
finally
per
get a
Old the
sequel.
Gen di
It's been
Godfall.
so long.
There really
Non lo
is something
sapevo.
special about Psychonauts.
Bella merda.
Really
Un gioco
is indeed.
per
Now,
far vedere
think
la
about this.
potenzialità delle nuove
2005, Psychonauts
console
originally came out. What's a different
che
time
esce
for
sulle
gaming?
vecchie.
Most of the biggest games that year were
Più
talking Resident
brutto.
Evil 4,
Bene.
Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2.
Tanto vero,
They
gioco
were
di
great
merda.
games, for sure. But they were all big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Boh, io sinceramente Psychonauts è un gioco che non ho mai giocato. Quindi questo Psychonauts 2 non so. Non so se sia un bel gioco o meno. Mi sembra molto stupido però metterlo così. GoldenEye? Sei tu?
My name is Raz.
Rasputin acquato.
New intern. And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can't we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Maligula.
It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Leave it to me.
Che cosa ho appena visto? Che gioco è? Non mi interessa.
It's clear
Il
I
gioco
could
ha una
not be more
personalità.
excited for
Dopo ci
Psychonauts
saranno
2
anche
because
scelte
I gotta be honest,
morali.
me and
Perché
that
la
original
canzone di
game,
fondo
we
sembra
got
una cosa
some
da
beats that
007?
need
Ma infatti la
settling. If you
scena
know, you know, the
che si
meat
inquadra
surface level
lui
is
nel
infamous, it is
mirino
brutal, it
della
is difficult to say the
canna
least. It's the final
della
level
pistola
of the
è
game
di
that came out,
007
and I
GoldenEye.
cannot
Penso
believe I'm doing
che
math on this
fosse
one.
ispirato a quello.
16 years ago, Tim, Schaefer, and Lizette
Zephyr
featuring
non
Montgomery. I
capisce.
am definitely dating
Delusione,
myself, but
Luca.
you all
Perché?
welcome from Double Fine Productions.
Non ho
Thank you so
pensato
much for being
niente.
here. Tim, can you believe it has been
Lo so.
16 years? I
Ho
almost said
presentimenti
19
di
years.
animazioni PS1, pure io.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a
Stile
shirt. I'm in there
Wonk.
for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog.
Posso dire che è davvero una delle conferenze più brutte che ho mai visto. Forse la più brutta che ho visto nell'era Xbox questa.
What would be the color of the sky and like who would the monsters be? And
Ti lascio dislike dopo,
because Raz has the power of astral projection, and when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares.
Ora come ora si meritano il dislike.
And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Per ora siamo al
Well, I loved it from the
3
first
su
game, certainly.
10.
Let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses
3,5,
itself in
dai.
the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts and some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also, some regrets, some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky.
No, la peggiore era quella prima
you're also
delle
seeing
3
our
dell'anno
Nate here.
scorso.
He is our.
Dici?
It energizes our whole.
Non me la
combat troop.
ricordo.
So we have a whole.
Mi stanno
cast
cascando
that
i
we can battle,
zebedei. Siamo in due.
including the Bat Mood. It's an electric storm of.
Per ora allora, l'unica cosa interessante che ho
Now,
visto,
for those who haven't played,
lo possiamo
the
definire
original
interessante
available
però,
now on Xbox
che
Game
beh,
Pass, by the way.
non mi ha sconquifferato
Tim, why is
più
Raz
degli
so good at
altri,
rummaging
comunque
for
beh,
brains?
tanto piacevole da vedere. Sono state Dying Light 2, che comunque non mi è sembrato sto granché, e poi quello strano gioco di prima che potrebbe avere del potenziale, ma non lo so, mi sembra tanto un indie farlocco.
To use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles.
Può collegare 2 pensieri,
He has the power of
intelligente.
time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns.
Mi fa morire
And the
perché fanno
interns quickly
le
tell him
facce
how
come delle domande
he
cioè
fits
che,
into
oh
the
cavolo, non mi
organization.
aspettavo questa domanda.
Right down at the bottom.
Oh, che bella
So Ern is
domanda,
way back to the top again.
rispondiamoci.
He's no longer the
Allora,
close kid
pensiamo.
in the summer camp.
Mamma
And
mia.
much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of the circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their
Spero
story
per te che di
gets told
forza
in this
non
game,
faccia
including
un
their
aborto
backstory and
simile
how
di
it relates to the
conferenza.
foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that, and of course, as you might know,
Ma
already,
sicuramente
I'm
almeno
sold,
Forza
but
fanno
you, of
vedere
course,
qualcosa
already
di
knew that. When
interessante.
can myself
Qui
and the rest of the
proprio
world exact some beefy meaty
sono
revenge?
giochi di merda. Solo giochi di merda.
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on
Cioè, è
Xbox
veramente
Game Pass
triste
and
una
PC.
conferenza.
There it is. Lizette, Tim, Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of Tim Schafer and ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this
Oh beh, The Gunk, beh questo sì che è una gran merda.
The Gunk.
Sembrava già una merda quel poco che si era visto. Dei creatori di Steam World, quindi gioco importante, non ho mai sentito.
Pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone. Bags. Oh, please, Bags.
Fatto vedere un cazzo. Oh. Ok, sto gioco.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite.
Che cazzo hai visto? Hai visto la conferenza della Sony, mi sa questa. Giochi della Madonna. Per dire. La Sony no, ha fatto la conferenza.
Talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox, so make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
Va bene, dopo Rob, anche se penso sia finita ormai questa. Ma che cazzo di colori psichedelici ci ha messo? Gialla, rosa e blu e bianca. Lì che vedete quando le fanno girare. Che merda di pad. Anche a me non piace sinceramente. Hanno preso un pad giallo e gli ha spruzzato sopra la vernice a caso. Cioè poteva farlo un po' più stile macchina che...
Forza Horizon Creative Director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon Art Director Don Arcetta. Hello everybody.
Hi everyone, hi Charlie. Hey Charlie, how cool is this?
Ma perché sono tutte rapate di lato? Io devo capire perché c'hanno tutte sta cazzo di capigliatura. A me non
I'll
piace.
be the first to say there is an amazing influence of Mexican car culture and music literally splayed right across the front, isn't that right?
Absolutely, it just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to show the fans, and it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's right. Even though it does have pretty awesome beaches and a number of amazing deserts, it also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5 showcases powerful, all-new graphical features, but what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista.
Lo prenderai il
to really make
pad,
our
quindi
cars
Zef.
look more true to
Guarda
real
che
life.
bello che lì sul
You'll
divano.
encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait. And next up is something we know that Forza Horizon fans have definitely been waiting for the most. Mike, what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5, featuring the incredible Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands.
Copertina.
Let's do it, yeah.
Guarda Zef, guarda Zef. Bella, bella. Meno bella. Contento che non c'è la countach Lamborghini. Non ci pensare nemmeno. Se ti piacesse il pad. Quindi questa è la copertina. Beh, dai.
Now those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two
Che ne
cars were
pensi,
chosen
Zef?
and what players can expect when they get behind the wheel.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them.
Sì, tanto,
Mercedes
bellissima la
AMG
cover,
1
mamma mia.
marks the first time a car features Formula 1
Meno male, dai. Non ti hanno deluso almeno per la copertina.
And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, you know, that's primed for rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both the Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes, cars jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
Vediamo, vai. Anche se potevamo farci vedere l'altra macchina, questo mi fa cagare. Però vabbè. Ok, non ce l'ho il pad. Ti giuro, ho cercato di premere A, infatti ho detto dove cazzo ce l'ho il pad. Ma non ce l'ho il pad. La gran caldera.
Here we take control of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, atop of the towering, snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
See you on the other side! Follow that car! Past me!
Vabbè. Il 9 novembre esce. Da vedere quando esce Halo. Ovviamente vince questo, che è arrivato dalla montagna lì. Vince. Oh, che bella. Questo è inizio gioco, sono i suggerimenti dei comandi. Penso di sì. Graficamente è mostruoso, comunque, è davvero bello.
Towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
Corvette Stingray, quella nuova. Che bella macchinina, eh? Io da Stingray in Forza ho sempre comprato il modello vecchio perché era una delle migliori macchine d'epoca che c'erano da usare nelle corse. Non sapevo neanche adesso ho fatto il modello nuovo. Che bella poi. Mamma mia la grafica. Stupendo, guarda. Merita davvero tanto. E qua come fai a giocare che non vedi un cazzo? Che bella. Oh ragazzi, se volete regalarmi una macchina per Natale sapete quale regalarmi. Ed ecco la McLaren. No. No. È una Porsche. Eh sì che è una Porsche.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy. Flamingos!
Bella. Bella la giungla. Anche se qua penso che non puoi far tanto fuori strada, in realtà anche gli effetti del fango, che belli. Collaborazione con F&F, la scena dell'auto nel 7. Con Fast and Furious. Che meraviglia! Il gioco praticamente secondo me è finito. Che roba. A Zef, di che stiamo parlando? Ma che bello. Oh, adesso mi danno la mia bella McLaren. Eh sì. Ma che bella macchinina, Zef, quando è che ce la prendiamo questa? Che bella.
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
One.
This is Mexico. superstar making their way to the festival right now. If you've just arrived at Horizon Mexico, then you are in for a treat, my friend. Get ready for the biggest Horizon adventure of your life.
Diciamo che il traffico aereo è un po' elevato in Messico. Ah, siamo contro l'aereo cargo. Ah, miglia. Infatti dicevo 208 all'ora è un po' poco. Però è miglia, non è chilometri. E vince la McLaren, ovviamente. Vediamo. Eh sì, vince la McLaren. La Mercedes. Sì, sì, la Mercedes, hai ragione. Va bene ragazzi, allora finita. La Koenigsegg Gesco davanti. L'ho vista. Allora ragazzi, è finita. Allora, devo dire che è stata abbastanza bruttina fino alla fine, che ha mostrato un po' di forza Horizon 5, quello mi è piaciuto. È un peccato perché mi aspettavo di vedere qualcosa di più interessante. Magari se si è fan di Psychonauts o gli altri giochi del cavolo che hanno fatto vedere, probabilmente è stata entusiasmante, ma per me sinceramente è stata abbastanza pallosa, quindi. Ciao Zef, alla prossima, buon stream di Forza. Quindi niente ragazzi, termino qua la live e spero che la prossima di Xbox sia migliore e che ci facciano vedere qualcosa in più di Halo. E infatti non faccio vedere qualcosa di Halo, non ci ho fatto vedere un cazzo. Vi lascio il dislike allora, così imparano. Ecco. E niente ragazzi, appuntamento a domani o dopodomani con anche Battlefield, vero, Halo. Mi ha fatto vedere una sega. Vabbè. E comunque niente ragazzi, ho letto oggi un articolo che facciamo vedere di Halo, che volevano rinviarlo ulteriormente per implementare tutte le cose al lancio, ma poi ci hanno rinunciato e lo lanceranno senza multiplayer cooperativo e senza forgia, quindi meglio così. Stalker 2, hanno fatto vedere una sega, peccato. Vabbè, conferenza di merda ragazzi, il dislike se lo sono meritato mio. Comunque ci vediamo nei prossimi giorni, domani o dopodomani, con una nuova serie che ancora non ho deciso quale sarà. Se avete suggerimenti mettete qualche commento qua e là sotto il canale, sotto qualche video del canale, che leggerò. Buona serata e alla prossima.